So yeah, final episode, making it about me. I've met various different people over the course of making this documentary, and one thing that I've come to learn from making the documentary is everyone's had a different experience, and everyone's dealt with experiences in a different way. You know, you've had people who've had relationships that have dealt with that in a different way, and people who've been in the care sector who've had to sort of take their own initiative to, you know, provide the best support that they can for the people they're caring for. When I went into lockdown, the first lockdown, I had a very difficult living situation with my mother at home, so I relocated and went to my father's house for the first lockdown, spent the whole duration, which I thought then was going to be 3 weeks, turned out to be nearly 3 months. I spent that time with my dad the whole time there. I had to diversify and do my uni work from home, which was pretty surreal for me, studying a practical course, having to basically adapt and be confined to my own home. So the way I did that, we had our final major project at the time, and I was going to make a little short horror film, and that ended up turning into little Lego toy photography, because it was the only thing I could do within my house that I thought was creative, and also gave me an opportunity to boost my Photoshop editing skills. I initially went into the lockdown in a relationship as well. I was in a in terms of friendships and relationship-wise, I was in a pretty good place at the time, and unfortunately, over the course of the year, a few of those friendships and the relationship itself diminished, which was quite hard to deal with, particularly in the second lockdown is when that all sort of started coming into reality for me. So one thing for me, over the course of making this documentary, was I really wanted to learn other people's stories, because I feel that in the lockdown I had my own story, relocating to go to my dad's, to then building a better relationship with my father. In that time I spent over here, so I had a very distant relationship with my dad. Before the lockdowns hit, I would go over there for 5 minutes at a time every week, and now I go over there for an hour and we actually have good conversations, and we've really strengthened our relationship because of that. And for me, what's really great to see from other people is the positives they've taken out of lockdown. For example, when we met Jan and he did his brewing and, you know, was able to build some new hobbies out of that, and Andrew with his painting, and Chris and Mark building their relationship a little bit more as well. For my own personal struggle, I, learned a lot about myself. I learned that there was a lot of mental health issues that I had to confront. I spent a lot of time before coronavirus outside and ignoring my problems, as it were. When I was put into lockdown, I was put into this position where I couldn't really run away from my problems because I was literally stuck inside of them. So for me, I had to confront a lot of the anxiety struggles I was facing, a lot of the family home life that I was facing as well. When I returned home after the first lockdown, I sat down with Mum and we had a good conversation about why I had to leave, and why me and Mum being in that space for the time that we had was going to be quite difficult. For me, I had to really address those issues. I had to really sit there and go, okay, how am I going to tackle this? How am I going to come out of this a better person? If I'm in this situation where I'm going through this pandemic, there's nothing to do, you might as well focus on, trying to better yourself a little bit. For the future, I'm extremely hopeful. I know that there's going to be a good future ahead. Next year I'm going on to study a PGCE, and I've also got some job opportunities in the summer as a creative practitioner as well, so that's going to be exciting. I think post-COVID, there's going to be a lot of changed people. There's going to be a lot of things that people realise about themselves and have learned about themselves. I think there's going to be some new passions that are going to be pursued as well, and I think that's a really great thing. So thank you very much for watching Life in Lockdown. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. And I'm hopeful for the post-COVID world.